the evolution of AZD's teachings in IMC Nation. I have a document. You don't see it there on Instagram, but in the YouTube and Facebook and wherever else I'm streaming it, there's a link to the IMC Evolutions document in the description. It's free. It's an organic document, meaning I'm updating it. Like I'm looking at it right now on my laptop. As I make changes, you have access to the document. You immediately see the changes. So you just save the link or put it somewhere, bookmark it, whatever. When you go back, there'll be updates. This is really for the IMC enthusiast and for the guys who are ministering IMC Nation tech. It's a high level document. Like it's not, basic introduction. However, to start it, I did have to make an introduction. So I'm actually going to read that to you now because a lot of people aren't going to go and get the document because of whatever bullshit. They don't want to go through the obstacle of putting in their email, downloading a document, whatever. So I'm just going to read it, and this will help people, especially later. This will just help people later, especially people that make the website and look at how to organize the curriculum, because I'm interested in organizing curriculum for people to make it down the path. So, IMC Evolutions, a timeline of AZD's teachings by Yogi Chris, PhD. Who is AZD? Arash Sapar Dibazar is the bald Persian guy with all the face tattoos that we see in YouTube videos and short clips on social media. On the surface, he's known as that charismatic, confident bad boy speaker who's always got something deeply profound or obscenely profane to say with deep meanings. On a deeper look, he's discovered to be that player, that top player who gets tons of beautiful women in relationships with him. An incredible feat one would realize if one were to try to duplicate AZD's success in the game. And then deeper still, AZD is found to be the founder of a movement called #IMC Nation. He embodies a new archetype of man, which has emerged from his inborn abilities and his mastery of the following subjects. Whatever. Taekwondo, 3rd degree black belt under Grandmaster Ernie Reyes. Close friend and acting student of the late Manu Tupo. Highly trained acolyte, which means like a student, of the writings of L. Ron Hubbard, the founder of the Church of Scientology. The first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt under the several-time world champion Sandro Batata Santiago, who himself is the first black belt in a lineage of first black belts. Bona fide master of the mystery method pickup arts system by Mystery himself, Eric von Markovic. Expert practitioner of transcendental meditation. Certified hypnotherapist under the world-renowned Anthony Jacquin, and AZD was certified in record time. This lists the main subjects that seem to have molded AZD after his settlement in America. Note that AZD was born in Iran and had a tumultuous immigration with his family to California through many countries from the ages of 4 to 11 years old. However, essentially, to make a person similar to AZD, into someone similar to AZD, mixed together a mastery of the martial arts, acting, Scientology, the pickup arts, transcendental meditation, and hypnotherapy. That's key. Essentially, to make a person into someone similar to AZD in terms of skills in life, mix together a mastery of the martial arts, acting, Scientology, the pickup arts, transcendental meditation, and hypnotherapy. This isn't going to create another AZD, but those seem to be the main subjects from what I've discovered, learning from AZD, studying with AZD, that AZD is masterful of. And that's if you want to try to make yourself into a player like AZD, but you don't want to pay for AZD's training, it's like a bunch of freeloaders online do. Here you go. I'll give you the subjects. Go master martial arts, specifically Taekwondo and Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, acting, Scientology, the pickup arts, specifically mystery method, transcendental meditation, and hypnotherapy, specifically Anthony Jacquin. I should put these specificallys in there too. If you can do all of that and master all those and mix them together, oh man, that guy. Then you get someone close to what AZD in skill. There's other subjects. What has resulted with AZD is the world's greatest player to this day, as measured by the quality, quantity, and effortlessness of his relationships. This is where I would put Arash D. Bazaar YouTube. Check out Arash D. Bazaar and Seductive Instinct YouTube channels. And then I would link it in this document. That's what I'll do later. And I would know. I've lived with him since August 2020 during the heart of the global lockdown. Okay, so that was the first section. Who's AZD? Next section is who's Yogi Chris. I'm sure TK wants to hear all about that. Let me pin my video here. Okay, going over the IMC Evolutions document. This is good for all the people that minister AZD tech and anybody that's an enthusiast about AZD, right? And there are a few of you online. I can see that you're online liking this. Who is Yogi Chris? I, Yogi Chris, aka Chris DeVilbus, have been attending AZD, aka Arash D. Bazaar trainings since late summer of 2015. So about nine years. During that time, I was a PhD student of engineering at the University of Florida. As a yoga practitioner, an ex-college wrestler from Oklahoma, and a recovering burnout from years of psychedelic and narcotic abuse after I'd finished my wrestling career. Whoa, it's like a run-on sentence. During that time, I was a PhD student and a yoga practitioner. Okay. I found AZD content like anybody else on YouTube and Facebook. And gradually over 15 months, I learned enough from his free content. Remember that freeloaders? I was a freeloader. From his free content to purchase my first digital lecture series of his. 7 months later, on my 29th birthday, I visited Arash in San Jose for one day of a one-on-one training. And that's all she wrote. I'd met many masters in my life, from Olympic gold medalists to senior tenured college professors to glowing yoga teachers who you cry in their presence. After meeting AZD and receiving those lectures he taught me in person for my one-on-one and witnessing his social prowess with women in the field, as we call it, I realized all the other subjects one could master in life were worthless compared to the social mastery available through what AZD was teaching. Communication and applied philosophy, understanding human psychology, and control over one's own mindset. So basically, of all the masters I was learning from, nothing compared to what you would gain with mastery of what AZD was teaching, which was applied philosophy and communication, understanding of human psychology, and control over one's own mindset. Everything else was secondary to that. Since that day, September 10th and 11th, September 10th, 2015, I've attended all of AZD's trainings, except for Metamorphosis 2017. All in all, I've attended more than 100 AZD boot camps. I've attentively listened to over 3,000 AZD lectures, and I've been in field with AZD hundreds and hundreds of times. I've compiled over 800 typed pages. I like speaking this out loud. Typed pages of AZD lecture notes. And I'll provide links to many of my notes throughout this book. So I'm reading from an ebook. When you get this ebook, there's links to all my ebooks there, which are just compilations of lecture notes from AZD lectures. My interpretation, many lectures I miss a lot of things he says. Many lectures I write too much, and it's just personal stuff that resonates with me. But I think there's a lot of value, and a lot of people have got my ebooks over the years. And you try to write an ebook and get people to buy it, and then buy the next one and buy the next one. Obviously, I'm doing something right. I mean, some people like it. A lot of times I just offer them as gifts as people sign up for shit. This current document is just an introduction to AZD and a list of all his trainings that I've attended with accompanying descriptions. I've also grouped many of the trainings together in what I call the pillars of AZD's teachings, which is just something I noticed after ministering the AZD content to men over the years. I show at the end, I may change that because I may not put it at the end, but I show at the end of this document some suggested curriculums to learn AZD tech. Obviously, I taught university. I mean, maybe that's not obvious, but I was in university for 12 years. I taught university for like 5 or 6 years, taught many classes, and I've done many kinds of teaching over the years. Like a curriculum is helpful. A path to learning is helpful. Like what's the progression? What's the next thing after the next thing, after the next thing, after the next thing to deliver you to some advanced understanding that really only took a year to get to, or a few hundred hours of study or whatever. But if you didn't have a teacher with the teachings there and you try to figure it out for yourself from scratch, it may take you lifetimes. So it's an accelerated learning to have a curriculum and all of that stuff. So 100 boot camps I've attended, organized some curriculums that basically align to what I call the pillars of AZD's teachings. So this would be a good place actually to have the pillars. I could see how that's where I would put the pillars right here. What I was going into next was actually what AZD's daily classes are. But the thing is I end the previous section with curriculums to learn AZD tech. So I should probably go into the curriculums, and then at the end of the curriculums, then I would go into the daily classes and the list of all the advanced camps. I could see how that would be last. So I'll skip ahead to the pillars. There are a section here called What are AZD's daily classes? I describe what AZD's daily classes are. And there's a timeline of daily classes. I put descriptions for all these, or most of them. I think I'm going to go back and do better here. Then I have a list of ebooks. Okay, I'm going to change this. I remember where I left off with this document. Man, this document is so fucking cool. Fuck yeah. Bro, it just needs more organization, but just apply myself like even just 30 minutes a week. I can see myself really making this a tight book. This is like a manual. This is a textbook for IMC Nation people. It's so good. Man, it's only 13 pages. Probably when it's done, it'll be about 20 to 25 pages. And it's just going to be the user's manual. The thing about it is AZD is so prolific with lectures that he just keeps lecturing more and more and more. So it's like I'll have to keep updating the document. But as long as I commit like 20 to 30 minutes a week to this document, I think I'll be able to keep up to date with as he adds programs to integrate it in. And that's the idea. It's an organic living document. And yes, it's linked with all kinds of resources outside YouTube videos. Obviously, my ebooks, which you can purchase. So maybe I make some money with that. And links to his daily classes and ultimately links to his camps and things like that. So it'll be a really good one-stop shop, so to speak, where you can see all of AZD's content. And hopefully I describe it accurately enough that you know what you're getting. And if something piques your interest, you're like, I just want to get that. So there's so much content. Some people maybe don't even start because they gotta kind of get like analysis paralysis or something. Like so many options, they don't even know which direction to go in. So really, ultimately, it leads to the same end. From my perspective, you can't go wrong with any of it. So you just start somewhere. But I get some people, they're just like, they drag their feet or they have so much indecision. Like men are in a really bad condition in the world. And even if you think you're in a bad condition, like they're worse. Like it's really bad, man. Not everybody, but the ones I communicate with on these accounts that get attracted to AZD content, like they're not doing well. A lot of them. Some of them are doing better. I don't want to say everybody, but so definitely documents, even the ebooks. I have a lot of free versions. There's like 4 or 5 free versions that I offer like 25, 30 pages of free typed notes of AZD lectures. Probably covers like 60 lectures. Plus, I mean, not to mention AZD has so many video blogs and he does a free show every day. That's something that has been implemented since I wrote this document. So I need to add that in there somewhere, you know? But ultimately, this becomes a document that, man, I just want to blast it out. I want to get it to a place where I'm so proud of it. I mean, obviously, you can tell I'm already proud of it, but like get it to a place where it doesn't dead end. Like right now, there's still some dead ends. It doesn't fully integrate, flow with itself. Like not everything is described. So, it's kind of incomplete, basically. Maybe dead end isn't the right word, but it's incomplete. But when it's complete enough that it's like it gets the full message across, it'll always be able to be improved upon. But like once it's thoroughly done, then I'm pushing it on everybody. I'm DMing 300 people that day. Just like, here's my new book. You need this. You need this. You need this. Video, promo, 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 promo. Everybody get this book. Like right now, you'd think maybe it's a promo. It kind of is, I guess. It's just more of me talking it out because I want to get to this next subject, which is the pillars. Pillars are so important, man. And I've developed other pillars. Like I said, 100 boot camps, so many lectures. One of the things I describe in this book, and I'll do better and better with it, is that AZD for the last at least 5 years, give or take, somewhere between 4 and 6 years, he's been teaching advanced classes at the same time he's been teaching beginner classes. So he's been giving 2 lectures a day, almost every day for 5 years. And that's a lot of lectures. You do the math. That's man, at least like 1,700 days times two, maybe. Sometimes he does more than 2 lectures. So it's at least 3,000 lectures. And I did many lectures before that. So really, I've probably done like 4 to 5,000 lectures. That's not including all the YouTube video blogs. Like there's tons of those. I have a video blog ebook of about 60 to 65 pages of typed notes from his recent video blogs. It's so good, bro. I can't wait. I should get to that. I just determined I'm gonna have a section in here about his video blogs. There's no way I could cover everything that AZD's done. He's done many things before I even came around with the martial arts center and whatever. And like I said, this document's not fully comprehensive. Like there's nothing in here about our fight center that we had in San Jose because that's just I'm gonna write about it. Like I'll say a few things when I get to the 6 pillars because one of the pillars is Panjo. So let me talk about it here. I haven't written too much about it, but I'll say what I have here. Pillars of AZD's teachings, because we have to remember we're here to learn from AZD because he's such a great player. He literally is. Like he gets the most beautiful women in multiple relationships and keeps them going and just keeps seducing these women in a way that like they seem fulfilled. They're growing. That we can see. I can see in my own girl. Every girl that's with me over time she gets better. I brighten her up. I don't take from her. She takes from me. And it's an exchange. She supports my activities or whatever. So you see that with AZD's girls, they change over time. And you could see that on the YouTube. Like 10 years ago, some of the same girls were still around, and you could go on his Instagram and see them still around now. They're still fine, even finer, and it's just better relationships. And it's not that beauty is everything, but man, that's important. And that the value that the choice a woman has when she has more beauty just kind of gives more validation to the skill level of the guy. Because ultimately, the girlfriend, maybe she gets in a fire and she burns all her skin everywhere and she's still alive. Like, I wouldn't leave her because of that. You know what I mean? So then she'd be hideous after that, but I wouldn't leave her. So you can't judge that. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the game of life, and especially with the multiple relationships and everything, again, that's not the main purpose. It's just a natural way of being. But the thing is that there's so many blocks from the outside world and internally, inhibitions and blocks that prevent us from expressing our authentic masculinity, that it seems like a very trivial and simple idea to just, man has multiple relationships, but then go and try to do it. And you'll see it's just so many barriers internally and externally. And then it's like, oh, it's not that important. And it's like, yeah, but it's going to nag at you the rest of your life, man. And you're going to end up cheating on your girl or just becoming ballless, no testosterone. Like you're going to fuck up your life if you lie about it. And if you don't go for it because you want that woman, you want that woman, you want that woman, then you're going to suppress yourself. So you either become suppressed and ballless or a liar, a cheat. And that's weak. And men don't want to align with that. You become out ethics, it's called. You'll make mistakes everywhere else in life if you have lies anywhere. So you got to be literally clean and righteous throughout and have good game. It's not easy. It's a straight and narrow path that goes for a long ways. Like you got to stay balanced on this razor edge from now until forever. You can't go wayward. So you got to be accountable. That's where the tribe comes in. It makes you accountable to your ethics. So these pillars of AZD's teachings. These teachings handily fall into certain these teachings. AZD's main teachings handily fall into certain groups that handily means easily or conveniently. Let's just say conveniently. Conveniently fall into certain groupings that help the practitioner understand their relationship to each other and how the teachings will help the individual achieve desired results. This is where I would say, what are the desired results? I don't want to write it right now because it would take too long in the stream, but it would be essentially authentic communication, unbreakable relationships, invincible self-esteem, or essentially, really, what AZD used to say in his video blogs, godlike confidence, laser-like focus, ambition second to none, communication skills that would kill, lethal communication skills, and a code of ethics that you will break for no one. So he's teaching, again, I always forget the first one, confidence. He's teaching confidence, transferring confidence from himself to students and listeners. Confidence, focus, ambition, communication skills, and ethics. That's what you get with AZD's teachings. Now, how do you learn that all? There's 6 groupings. Okay, I need to write this later, I can see, but I'll just say there's 6 groupings I have found for AZD's teachings. I'll name them and then I'll describe them. So if I name them and I name them fast and you don't know what I'm saying, I'm about to go back and describe it. I just don't want to slow down listing them out for you to describe them. So the list of 6 pillars. And lately I said, like I said earlier, I've actually developed like kind of 2 more pillars. They're like sub pillars, and I'm figuring out how to fit them in, or if I need to redesign the whole concept. Because again, it's just a concept to help transfer the comprehensive understanding of what you need to learn to have AZD's results. These 6 pillars are game, Hanjo, beast process, messengers, chosen, and Manu's tech. I just realized I should put possessive apostrophe S there. Manu's tech. Game, Hanjo, beast process, messengers, chosen, Manu tech. What are these things? Game is that thing that like everybody comes to AZD for. Most people, like 98% of men, come to AZD for his level of game. You know, it's at the end of the day, you need the other 5 pillars to get his results in game. And again, his results, go to his personal Instagram. It's linked in the bio of the Instagram account or whatever. You can find him on YouTube or whatever. Multiple women, high value women in a perfect transparency and a fluidity that there's true love, deep connection. It's not what you see Dan Bazillion or other fucking pickup artists. It's like not all contrived and fake and everything. And yet there is an artistry and an acting involved in it. You can see the theatrics in it. But, you know, if it was so fake, I think it would be next to impossible for a man to keep up the act day and night for 10 years or longer. You know what I mean? Like the act has to break. That's where you break character. And he's around women or his students or his friends all the time, bro. He's not really alone very much. So it's like the character would have broken at some point. So yeah, it's game, but it's game that works. It's like if you tell a joke and make someone laugh, you wanted to make them laugh. Is it so fake that I told a joke? What if it's a joke that I invented, something I find funny? You know what I mean? Like I'm still telling a joke and it's theater, but I'm just sharing my gift and it's attractive to, you know, so it's like that kind of. Okay. So game is what I started the list with because that's what everybody comes to AZD for. This is all the social dynamics, pickup arts, seduction, dating and relationships, all his content related to social dynamics, how to relate socially. Pickup arts, meaning how to pick up a woman and have sex with her. From stranger to sex, pickup arts. Seduction, that's also the sex, but it's also a more long-term thing. It's not just a pickup. It's kind of a blurred line, but elongate the pickup to make it 6 months to 6 years to 60 years, however long. Like most people, when they think of pickup, they think pretty short term, like within a month or something, or short term, less than 6 months. But seduction, the pickup can actually last like 6 years. or longer. It could be, who knows? I'm just picking the number six. I don't know why. But seduction, and then dating and relationships, which also include seduction. There's something different about it. But to have relationships, you got to keep seducing the woman. You got to make her want it, And it's like it's all related. That's why it's in this pillar called game. Evolutionary psychology, which relates to relationships and seduction and pickup, but it's the science of male-female dynamic. Sexual techniques. If there's ever been any sexual techniques taught, if there's ever any references of go look up this guy or this book or whatever, that's part of the game pillar. And of course, the actual lifestyle that feeds you women and supports lasting and fulfilling relationships with the most beautiful women. So the lifestyle is actually going out. So like in Vegas, we have a lifestyle. Game, you get mostly in person with AZD. But, there are lots of products. There's infield, there's dating seminars, there's different boot camps are more focused on game and seduction and pickup and whatever. And so that's the content that's in the pillar called game. And then when you come in person, there, I see where I need to write more there. When you come in person, you get more game. That's what residency gets you, and really just coming in person because you go out with us. And there's so much transformation when you go out with us. Like, I don't want to belabor the point. I could talk about each one of these pillars separately in a future stream. Panjo, that was the second pillar. Panjo, that's his fighting system. AZD developed it for the street. So it involves a lot of street awareness. And that's why it's so vital to his game. Not only is it like self-defense and the movement and confidence that comes with being a fighter, but the awareness, self-defense is so much of an awareness, and he teaches that. He teaches it somewhat in lectures and philosophy. And then again, it's like game. You can learn the philosophy of game, but then when you go out with us, it's different. You can learn the philosophy of Panjo fighting, and it will change you. You will get better. You'll be tougher. You'll fight better. You'll game better. You'll do everything better. But then it's different if you come to our fight center and train with us, train with AZD. Okay. All of these pillars, all six of these pillars are better in person. But the fact is that two or three of these pillars are really, really essential in person. And that's game, Panjo fighting, and Manu Tech. So I'll just go ahead and skip to Manu's Tech, which is the sixth pillar. But it doesn't really matter. It's arbitrary numbering. Manu Tech is the private moments. That's the acting tech AZD learned from his acting coach. And that's given so much presence and aesthetics, which means beauty, how AZD communicates and moves, and his ability to embody different characters, to shapeshift, to see through the veil of everybody else's persona and their mask and see more of their true essence. It all relates to each other. Game and Manu's Tech and messengers, everything relates to each other. So game also, the more you interact with women and really get to deeply connect with them, the more you'll see through people's veils, because that's what you have to do to get to a woman. A woman is so shielded by her own ego and her own trauma and all that shit, which is the same thing, that to actually have a deep connected relationship with a woman, you will have had to see through a veil at some point, and you'll break through that veil with a woman, multiple women eventually, guys eventually, and you'll see that people are not acting like who they really are. And the ability to see through that is developed through game and through Manu Tech and through all of AZD's teaching, self-awareness and everything. But Manu Tech, the private moment, communing with nature, throwaway monologue. We haven't really gotten to a scene yet. And some other things, creation exercises. This tech is learned largely in person, or it's evaluated in person. You can learn some of it online. And I'm realizing I should put together an online package of Manu Tech training. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's why I'm doing this stream, so I can brainstorm. And guys, I'm going to end this stream in the next 7 minutes. So if you have any questions, go ahead and type it, and I'll check if there's any questions in the next minute or two. Let me just check right now. Good. I'm glad YouTube, you're liking this. IMC TV, shout out. Let's see. Wow. Os, Tony K. Lemmergazer. Psi abilities. Yes, sir. Toby, if this be true, release some old lectures. Which part? If which part be true? Some channels have leaked his lectures from 2015. He was better then. He wasn't better then. You would know. You haven't been in the trainings. That's again, I see Toby, he comments a lot and he almost seems like a fan, but you're kind of a hater, like right there. You know what I mean? Like you haven't done his trainings. Like I said, I've attended 3,000 of his lectures in the last 5 years. You've been on zero of them. Zero. Zero. None. So how would you know? How would you know? You know what I'm saying? So you got to recognize you're lost, bro. You're unless your name is not Toby and your real name is Sultan. If you're really Sultan masquerading as Toby, then then say so. But if your name is Toby, I ain't never seen a Toby on any of the streams, so you wouldn't know. And you should know that I know that you don't know. And everyone should know that I know, and you should know that I know, and you should know that and yourself, you should know that Toby don't know shit. He's just some schmuck. Okay, who's been invited about 300 times to lectures and never shows up because he's a coward. But maybe he shows up one day and you know what? I'd love for him to be my friend. But right now he's too cowardly to be my friend. He's got to show up to be my friend. So let's see. Let's wrap it up. Just a few more minutes. So Panjo is the fighting system. You get that in person when we open up the fight center. There are some YouTube videos that I've released uh, from our fight training with him. And you know, that's a really interesting concept. Wow. What an interesting concept. I just realized share Panjo YouTube videos and all past Panjo classes. Oh man, we had some recorded classes. Bro, I'm gonna work with Sultan. I'm gonna put together a product for that. I'll even fucking give it away for free. I don't care. Like, this is great. This is people need to see AZD's prowess with fighting. You know, he's a lethal guy. He's not particularly athletic, big, or strong, but he knows movements and knows strategy. And no matter how big, strong, or little and weak you are, you'll be tougher and more able to protect what's yours. And that's important. It's important in game if you want to possess a woman. Okay, the last three I haven't talked about: the beast process, the messengers, and the chosen tech. This is actually, I have probably the most descriptive content out there about those subjects. Those are literally philosophies over time. AZD's, he's known as a communication and mindset master, right? Just so good with his imagination and shifting, controlling your own state of mind. So these programs or these philosophies really embody that. The beast process infuses a lot of Manu's tech with creation and relaxation and the acting principles with Stoic philosophy and physicality and self-discipline processes to shape your character. That's what it's a concoction of self-discipline, acting tech, and stoicism. And the way AZD delivered it, and we have a package of that content, the beast process. It makes any man the most attractive man in any room. It makes any man able to live in an IMC base because he'd be self-disciplined. It makes any man able to learn all the other tech from AZD. I recommend the beast process first. Before you learn game, before you learn Panjo, before you learn Manu's tech, before chosen, before messengers, I recommend people learn the beast process. That's first. It comes in several formats, easy, cheap, middle, intermediate, advanced, comprehensive. Has the whole thing. That's the bundle. It's $1,500. The whole beast process, Telegram group, accountability, this and that. It's a transformation program for about 1 to 3 months. Then we got the messengers tech and the chosen. The chosen is really more recent. It comes from Christ consciousness, a few different references AZD went through, plus the Bible, of course, and his own esoteric understandings of human history and life. And that language of the New Testament and evil and sin and good and God and demons and angels and exorcisms and the teachings of Jesus, like, it was profound. And the results are a man becomes alpha. He overcomes his emotions. He's no longer emotional. He sees good and evil. He knows what's right and wrong. He will also fall out of grace. He'll fall back to the material world. He'll lose his ethics at some point, but there's a tech there to ascend and transcend the conditions of earth, which is in the chosen tech, hell. Earth is hell, Satan's domain. And that tech seems essential. Essential. All of them are essential. I just say start with beast process, but they are all essential to get the result, which is confidence, focus, ambition, communication skills, ethics. You'll falter on that if you don't have the chosen tech. You'll falter on it if you don't have any of them. or you need it all. Like I said, there are a couple sub pillars, I guess I would say. I may reorganize the concept, and those have to do with business, sales, money, business, sales, money. It's like almost a separate subject. And skinwalker or skinwalking, which is a very spiritual kind of way of seeing the world, similar to chosen, similar to messengers, but it's kind of like its own thing, you know. So we'll see. That's like a little sub thing. So the last thing I'll say, I don't see any comments, is the messengers tech. Toby didn't comment anything. People on Instagram didn't comment anything. TK didn't comment anything. So I'll wrap it up. Messengers tech, that's the pinnacle. That's the highest tech. You might think it's the game. Nah, it's the messengers tech. Because the game is only going to get you so far. You're gonna hit a wall with game. Man, you're gonna lose the girl, even if you know good from evil, even if you know exorcisms and how to exorcise demons. Like, you're gonna lose the girl if you don't have communication techniques. If you don't have communication skills, that's the messengers. The prime modus operandi. I don't know what the fuck how to describe it, but the prime motive of the messengers is get the message across. Be heard, be understood, understand them. Part of being understood is understanding them so that you know how to get the message across. It's everything. Messenger, John, this whole talk was exactly for you, 100%. If you have it in you to rewatch this after I post it, I recommend it. I didn't have you in mind when I did it, but it's exactly for you. So the messengers tech, that's the highest tech AZD teaches. That includes his sacred syntax, how to feel words. That includes mind control and hypnosis, which is just basic language and influence techniques. It includes all hypnosis and hypnotherapy, which he doesn't really teach us how to do. We learn by osmosis, just hearing him do it. But it really snaps you out of other people's hypnosis. That's really the main reason for it. That you learn martial arts not to destroy people, but to defend yourself. You learn what their attacks are when you learn how to attack. You learn mind control and hypnosis to not get mind controlled and hypnotized by people. You know what I'm saying? I'm almost saying that for my girls. If you guys watch this on my Enlightened Masculinity channel, like, you should know that about mind control and hypnosis. Yeah, so I learned how to influence you, but I'm also learning how you cannot influence me. You're also learning how to not be influenced by the world because I know that shit. So, messengers tech, could say a lot more about it, but those are the 6 basic main pillars of AZD's teachings. Game, Hanjo, Beast Process, Messengers, Chosen, and Manu's Tech. All right, everybody? So if you like that, leave a comment. The link is in the bio of the description of these YouTube videos to get the evolutions document. It's free. You just put in your email. And everybody else, the next steps are get involved with one of those pillars. Whatever pillar sounds appealing to you, message me. I'll talk with you about it, what trainings are available, how much they are, and what you can do. And that'll get you growth. That's the thing. You never fail in investing a dollar in this tech. So just go with what you can, what you're motivated for, and watch it and implement it, and your life will change. And, if you love yourself, it's worth it. Salute everybody. Be the best. Fuck the rest. IMC Nation. J Guru Dev.